This is a brief little video entry about my garden. Yay, my exciting garden. But this is actually really important to me because this is the only one that's really been in good shape for the past, probably 2007. This is why. You wouldn't believe it, of course. It's not obvious right off the bat. But in 2007, we started having year after year of flooding. This is the year that they're finally getting around to digging up the streets to figuring out why we're having all the flooding. We've had so much rain that as a consequence, I haven't been able to keep my garden. First, I reclaimed my pot. And in this one, I planted, these are notes for next year so I don't make the same mistakes. I planted one kind of summer savory, lavender, and something that I believe is pronounced marjoram. Whatever. See, this is the problem with reading books, reading words without necessarily hearing people say them. You don't always know how it's pronounced, but anyway, that's the plant. And that's the savory. And not really visible down in there, yeah, is some happy lavender. The mistake I will not repeat is the mistake of planting the lavender in the same pot. There's 2 kinds of basil. Well, actually, it's 3 kinds. And this is growing really well, and I think I'm going to bring that into the house for the winter to see if I can keep myself in fresh basil through the winter. I got the flag back out. It's the first time in a couple of years I've been able to get it out. And I got wind chimes up. I had a little welcome sign in my little tree. This was, at the beginning of the year, nothing but grass about to my knee. And this was all fallen over and terrible. And it needs to be weeded now because I was going to do it today, but as you can see, we got a rainstorm rolling in. So today I'm making my little notes about what worked well, and actually with this little part I don't think I'm going to make much changes. This is annuals and thyme, and obviously the few things in here that are not annuals, the thyme and where did it go? The echinacea. Where did the echinacea go? There it is. The echinacea are gonna stay. I can't remember what these pink things are anymore. They were supposed to be an annual, but they have come back successfully every year. So as far as I'm concerned, they're perennial. Michael's really in love with the coleus, and I really like these pretty blue and white and pink starflowery things. And I completely forgot the name of them, but you know, they're annuals. They'll be in the farmer's market again next year. This I finally recovered. That doesn't look very exciting, I know, but you should have seen it. Oh my God. It was death wormed over. These are the last of the chicks and hens that Mary had. She had tried to make them grow all over that area. They never did. I was never able to get anything out of them but some willingness for some few portions of it to be alive. This is the oregano bed, which I may take out next year because I never use this one. It's only really good when it's pollen collecting season. Sage has been saved. I'm sure I have pictures around here somewhere how bad this all was. As has been the rue. The lemon balm and the lovage have also been saved, although right now they're kind of in a position where they look kind of crappy because it's time for the second growth. Look, look. Yeah, I know it doesn't look like very much of anything, but the important thing is that it's bare. All the shit's been cleaned out. Pretty much the same thing here. All the shit's been cleaned out. Here we have another saved pot which contains tarragon, another kind of summer savory, and rosemary. And my lesson here is that the rosemary doesn't do well in the same pot with these ones that will just grow over it completely. But the savory, delicious. the tarragon. Mighty, mighty good. These are the raspberries that I got from Margaret. This is all cleaned out. And what I'm trying to do here, not successfully I guess, is put in a moss garden, but we've got so many frickin' animals, they just keep digging in it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that successful. The only annuals that remain alive are these two hostas, or rather 3 hostas, and 2 Love Lies bleeding plants, which need to be cleaned out. Here is where my raised bed is going to be. Well, it's where it is. I have to finish constructing it. I'm very happy about this. That means I'm going to finally move my garden away someplace where there's sunlight instead of over there where it was. And getting all that cleaned up was a mess too. That dirt's ready to be dug up. That dirt's ready to be moved over there. These are the apple trees. These are what's left of the 4 apple trees that I grafted several years ago. These are not the grafts. The rabbits ate all the grafts, and what we have left here are the 2 root stock trees. God only knows what those apples taste like. I'm going to have to take them out at some point in time, but this year I'm going to let them go so I can use the leaves for tea. That's a nice pile of dirt. That was a lot of digging effort. This, however, is a wild apple tree. I don't know. I must have thrown an apple in the compost pile and squirrels got it. It's even bearing apples. Check it out. What those apples are going to taste like, I don't know. It's not actually on my property. It's on the neighbor's property. So the most that I can really do with it is trim the branches that may get in the way of my garden. Although if it doesn't produce good apples, I might suggest to the neighbors that they just take it out. Whether they follow that suggestion or not, I don't know. But, you know, it is what it is. So really, although the backyard still looks kind of in flux, it's the mint that I love the best is coming back. Bits and pieces. The raspberries are starting to propagate. I actually got some fruit this year. Looky, I got fruit this year. Woohoo! Yay! Isn't that delicious? Mmm. So we keep trying and we see what we get. And that's all the exciting vocal garden notes, with the possible exception of I got a lot of rhubarb in there and I should probably cook it, and I got to think about where I'm going to move it after I finish getting the bed constructed and filled. And I fill that area with that dirt, seed it up, and just have grass in those areas until further notice, awaiting further plans, you see. And then I don't know what. I could spend a lot of time making my backyard nicer. Hopefully the universe will not conspire against me and make me have to neglect it again for 3 or 4 more years while I deal with, you know, those fun instances of life. This is a pretty exciting picture while I'm just yakking, isn't it? There, I like that picture better. And we'll see what happens. Bye. Oh wait, look. Of course I found garden heraldry. Of course I did.